What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets. Hope everybody's having an excellent weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day. If you're going out for some green beer, don't drink and drive. Thank you to everybody that's been watching the videos and leaving feedback. Definitely appreciate it. Also, thanks for all the support for my fundraiser, which starts next Friday at 5 o'clock. Especially David, man. You are going above and beyond. I genuinely appreciate it. So I'm going through the feedback on my videos. It's kind of interesting because some people are really happy. Some people are still angry and skeptical. Now, let me say this. There is nobody more skeptical than me as a longtime Jet fan, an old Jet fan, especially after last year where you have a lot of questions on and off the field. So right now, what Joe Douglas is trying to do is offset all his mistakes with limited resources, and it's not easy. So if you evaluate the moves that were made based on that, you have to be slightly encouraged, where it's like, yes, the offensive line is rebuilt, but there are obvious risks with it, with the age of Morgan Moses, the injury concerns of Tyron Smith, and I get all that. But as fans, man, it's like you got to hang your hat on something. You got to kind of believe in something. It's March 17th. I can't be doom and gloom the entire offseason. This sucks. That's going to suck. This doesn't work. It's just not how I can do as a fan, man. It becomes exhausting, right? That's why on day one of free agency, I wasn't one of these panicking and crying and bitching and moaning. Why do it, man? Just let it all play out. Let the process play out and see what happens. So the offensive line is but I will say this. Rich Cimini's column today where he said that the Jets wanted Quentin Jefferson back. He gave them a chance to match the offer, and they were too slow to respond. Drives me absolutely crazy. It's little things like that where it's like the Jets are always going to jet, especially when it comes to Joe Douglas and financials. But that's going to fly behind the wayside. We're not going to think about it. But the Kinlaw contract makes you nervous. It just, those kind of things piss you off, right? So now you look at what do the Jets do as they go forward. And the first thing I would do is, while the offensive line, you replace 3 starters, you need more depth. And you can rely on the draft. I would still go out. If you want to get Bakhtiari on a team-friendly deal, if you want to get Donovan Smith, you got to get legitimate depth behind these starters. You don't want to be one injury away from praying that Carter Warren can play. I want guys that have been there, done that, and have NFL snaps in them. And I know Carter Warren played last year, but you want proven guys. Even the guard position, you look at some of the guards that are still available. These are guards that a lot of us wanted signed first 2 days of free agency. They're still out there. I wouldn't be content with what you have. You got to keep spending money. Now, when it comes to the wide receiver group, it gets interesting because there's a lot of names out there, and it seems like with the offensive line, there's risk associated with them. Like Mike Williams will be in with the Jets this week, where, great contested catch guy, great receiver, coming off an ACL, 30 years old. So what version of Mike Williams are you getting? But he's going to be in the facility. You would think that if Aaron Rodgers is even in the mix, you can get a deal done with a financially responsible contract. Beckham Jr. is still out there. Now, he's not the same Odell Beckham that everybody loved years ago. He's still a quality receiver and an upgrade over anything the Jets have. So while you say, I don't want him, he's a distraction, again, what's the contract going to be? If he's your third option behind, say, Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson, is that really a bad thing? I don't think he'd be a distraction. Tyler Boyd's out there. I like Tyler Boyd a lot. Now, he's still out there. I think he's going to probably have more suitors than everybody else. I think the Steelers were involved and somebody, I forget the other name, Patriots. But again, serviceable. You got DJ Chark, Hunter Renfrow. There's another name I'm forgetting. But there's guys out there. But I wouldn't, it's just because I'm looking for an upgrade over Gibson, Brownlee, and Lazard. Not saying much, but that's what you want. You want legitimate route runners. You want consistent pass catchers to bring into the offense to help Aaron Rodgers flourish. The other position is running back, where we all love Breece Hall. And he showed he could be a bell cow back, and he can do a lot of really good things. You need a 2, a legit number 2. Now, I don't want to draft a running back. I want another, again, a veteran that is consistent in blitz pickup, like a good pass protector, can catch the ball out of the backfield. And that's something that should be a priority, especially if the Jets seem like they want to do ground and pound this year and run the ball a lot more to protect Rodgers. A lot of common names are out there. You got Ezekiel Elliott. J.K. Dobbins is interesting, coming off an injury. Cordell Patterson, I know, is older. I've always liked him because he's so versatile. Kareem Hunt, Dante Foreman. Cam Akers is out there, which is interesting. And Alexander Madison, too. So the Jets, obviously, you don't want to spend a lot of money on running back, but it's an area of concern and something you've got to cover. Also, the safety position. We all kind of assumed that Ashton Davis was coming back. As of this video, I don't think he was re-signed here. But apparently he wants a little bit more money to become like a starter and get more reps. There's a lot of really good safeties out there as well. Diggs and Simmons. So there are plenty of moves to be made. And as the second tier free agency comes, And you don't want the Jets to be content. This is where, in theory, Joe Douglas is supposed to flourish. I know based on his past free agency, he hasn't flourished, but plenty of moves to be made. And the more moves you make that are quality moves, the more flexibility you have in the draft. Now, I made my previous video, I talked about, what do you do at 10? Now, for me, in the perfect world, what the Jets do, I mean, if Alt or Fashanu fall down to 10, I'm taking them. But if they don't, if you want to trade back and recoup that second-round pick, I am 1,000% in for that. You could trade back a few spots, you take your offensive lineman there, or you take a receiver there, and vice versa. But the more picks you can get, especially in the top 50, top 60, I'm down for that. So trading back doesn't piss me off. But to me, it's all about playmakers. Now, we just talked about adding either Mike Williams or Beckham. You want a stud receiver, man, another stud. And this wide receiver class is loaded in the draft. So however you can get one of them, get them. Excuse me, I just burped. So let me know what you guys think. I think there's a lot of moves to be made here. The Jets are not a completed team at any point. And that's the other thing, man, where people are ripping some of my videos. And I'm like, dude, it's March 17th. Like, the final product, it's when we go to training camp in August. That's when you say, okay, what is Joe Douglas's final product? We're going to find out when you head to training camp. Because moves are made before and after minicamp. There are June 1st cuts. There's always surprises. Players become available you don't realize. Look at the whole Dalvin Cook thing last year, even though we know what happened there. But plenty of things can happen. And I think the Jets had the cap flexibility to do those things. I will say this. I would like to see DJ Reed get an extension. Keep him around for a couple more years, man. If you want to restructure Conklin, go for it. There are some legitimate pieces here that you should keep in place, especially Reed, where he is a primary focal point of your defense, where you have him and Sauce and Michael Carter, another guy that should be kept here too. So, and then when you make those contracts, you free up more cap space and can do more great things. So, let me know what you guys think. What's your next move? What's your wish list? The next 3 or 4 people, players, and I'll talk to you guys later.